In our ID DTO, we enforce that the ID must be a positive integer. This validation also appears in the pagination DTO in both of its fields. Throughout the course, we'll also create other DTOs, which some of them will contain IDs too. So we can already see that this combination of decorators will be frequent. Is there a way to combine these two into a single decorator as to avoid this repetition in the future? Yes, there is, with decorator composition. Let's then combine them into a composite decorator. In the common folder, I will create a new folder called Decorators. In here, we'll create our decorator, which I'll call isCardinal.decorator. Now, a decorator is, in the end, a function. So I'll write the isCardinal.decorator as one. Well, I'm more used to arrow functions, but you are welcome to write this as a normal function if you prefer. Now, to combine those decorators, we have to return the invocation of another function, which is the appliedDecorators function, which is not appearing here, so I'll quickly reload the window. I'll then use this function and then pass as arguments the decorators that we want to merge. So in this case, is int and is positive, like this. I can then go back to the ID DTO and use the decorator here. And then this will be already working. You can test it if you want. But before finishing this lesson, there are several improvements that could be made to this decorator. I will put here again the isPositive decorator from Class Validator, just to compare them. If you look at the tooltip of the isPositive decorator, you'll notice that it has a description. This description is generated by a special kind of comment called JSDoc. Now, I personally don't find it a very interesting idea to go around commenting all your code, as ideally your code should be clear, concise, and self-documenting. But in some cases, a well-placed comment may be very welcome, such as in a case like this, where we have a decorator that will be used in many places. So having a description at its tooltip will make its usage by yourself and other developers clearer and quicker, as you won't have to lose time trying to guess what this does. Even more so because a cardinal in mathematics may have two slightly different meanings, the difference being the inclusion or not of the zero value, so a description would also avoid this confusion. So let's actually apply this JSDoc. Going back to the decorator, we just have to use over it the shortcut / asterisk asterisk, and then press enter. And it will generate a JSDoc for us. So I'll just delete this, as we will not be using it. And here, I will go back to the isPositive decorator and copy this description, because our description will be almost identical to this one. So in our case, the isCardinal decorator, it checks if the value is a positive integer greater than 0. So with this, we already have our description, as we can see here. Now, notice its return type. Sincerely, it's hard to understand what's going on here. We can do the same as the isPositive decorator, which explicits its return type as property decorator. So I can just return here and say that the function returns a property decorator. And we can already see that it's much better to read this now. Lastly, notice that the class validator decorator has validation options as parameter. These validation options can be very helpful in some circumstances. For example, imagine that in a certain case, I don't want to validate if a field is a positive number, but an array of positive numbers. In this case, I would use the option each. That would bring this effect. So we can also have validation options in our decorator. And as they are options, they should of course be optional. And to effectively use them, we just have to pass them along to our combined validators. So now we have a very nice decorator. With this, we can finish this lesson. But before doing it, I will just delete this and save the file and copy this decorator to use it also in the pagination DTO. And now I will commit the changes. Creating a composite decorator. Well, I hope that you are enjoying the course so far. So, until the next lesson.